Welcome to Whiteboard Wednesdays, real talk with a realtor. I'm Sharice Wynn, also known as the agent lady. And today, guys, we're going to talk about star bolts. You're like, what are star bolts? Have you ever driven past a property, a house, and you see these really decorative looking stars and you're like, oh, those are pretty, not really thinking they have a purpose? Well, we're actually going to go over and talk to Dan Banks, who's a structural engineer, and he's going to tell us why they're there in the first place. Let's go. Hi, everyone. We are now here back again with Dan Banks. He is a structural engineer. And right now, Dan, I have a question. Sometimes you get those properties, and when you drive up or when you get on the actual curb of the property, like, whoa, what's going on there? You see a bulge coming out, and automatically it's a red flag for somebody like yourself. So are all bulges bad? Like, what do you do?
Well, it depends upon the extent of the bulge.
Okay.
The walls of residential properties are usually brick, and they're usually 8-inch thickness of brick.
Okay.
If the wall is out of plumb, that means out of vertical, more than 1.5 inches, and you do that by dropping a plumb bob from the second floor down to the almost basement level, and see how far the string has moved away from straight down. If it's more than 1.5 inches, then you have to restrain the wall against further movement. If it's less than 1.5 inches, you just monitor it and see that it's okay. In many cases, the displacement is less than 1.5 inches, so you just monitor it, unless you have somebody who's very skittish and they want to do something about it. And if it's about 1 inch, you can put star bolts in there. What is a star bolt? Star bolt is a threaded rod with a star face on it, and you've seen them as you've driven through the city.
Absolutely.
You've seen them. Now, the stars now are, that piece of cast iron is now $45. So a lot of people have elected not to use a star. They'll take an 8-inch piece of 1/2-inch steel plate, turn it 90 degrees, and you got a diamond shape.
Oh, interesting.
That costs $5 instead of $40.
Right. So
it depends upon what you want to do, but you can do exactly that. What does a star bolt do?
Yes. Thank you for answering.
What does a star bolt do? A star bolt restrains the wall against further outward movement. So if it's out of plumb, that if it's out of vertical, more than 1.5 inches, it no longer has uniform load on the brick, but it opens up, and when you get to something like 3 to 4 inches, you'll have a gap. So, but at 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and that's what we see for the most part for most of the concerns that are brought about by home inspectors or by people who have looked at the front of their house, the displacement is on the order of 2 inches. At which point we put in a star bolt, and if the star bolts are installed wherever the wall is out more than 1.5 inches and separated by about 4 feet, you might need 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 star bolts.
So what are we looking at as far as price in regards to star bolts? A
star bolt by a good masonry contractor would cost about $1,000 a bolt.
$1,000 a bolt?
$1,000 an installed bolt. Installed.
So each bolt costs about $1,000? So if you need 3,
it's $3,000.
Oh wow, okay. So
but your house has been stabilized forever. Your only other choice is to tear down the wall and rebuild a wall, which will run you $20,000.
When do you need to tear down the wall? When does it get too bad when you can't use a star bolt?
More than about 5 to 6 inches and it has gapped, then you can't pull it back any more than 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So you have this unsightly, right? And you have this condition. You can hold it back, but you have water getting in where the gap is.
Right.
You have to patch it. It's very unsightly. You might have to stucco the whole front wall. So it all depends. It can be done. Good, competent, professional masonry contractors can take care of a wall that's out more than 4.5 inches. When you get beyond 6 inches, your wall is in severe danger of collapse. It can collapse at that point.
Oh, wow.
At which point it might be to your advantage to rebuild the wall where it has gapped.
Okay, so you don't need to rebuild the whole thing.
No, usually an overall height of 4 feet above the crack and 4 feet below the crack.
Okay.
A total of 8 feet for the length that it is cracked.
Oh, awesome.
And a contractor will remove it, make it plumb, and take care of it. And usually, if he can match the brick, it's good. If he can't match the brick after he's done, he will stucco the whole facade, and it will look nice.
Okay. Well, so I guess the answer is either starbolt and or rebuild the wall, depending on how bad it is.
How bad it is, right? It depends on how bad.
Okay.
Usually,
well,
when
this
it's
guy's
less
will
than
figure it
4
out.
inches, you're okay.
Okay. And if you don't know, you can hire Dan. He'll come figure it out for you. Well, guys, that sums it up. Thanks again, Dan, for participating in the show.
You're welcome.
And remember, guys, friends don't let friends buy or sell real estate without the agent lady. Make it a great day.